Welcome to the Versa Business Tips Podcast. I'm your host, founder and CEO of Versa Business Systems, Shaheen Mazloom. We are here with a very special guest today, the ERC King himself, a true motivation for anyone who's struggling, a testament to hard work pays off. This man went from homeless to multimillionaire in just a few months. My good friend, Joe Bosco. How you doing today, Joe?
What's going on? I'm doing incredible. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Good. Can't complain. Happy to be talking to you again, man.
You as well, bro. Nice to see
Absolutely. So for those out there that don't know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit about who you are, what your expertise is, and what you do.
you. Yeah. Well, I'm just like everybody else. I'm just an entrepreneur, normal guy. I grew up in Long Island, and like many entrepreneurs, life was up and down, and I've been through a lot. I've been on my back. I've been up, and right now we're currently doing the ERC program, the Employee Retention Credit, and it's been awesome. We've been changing thousands of people's lives. We've been delivering billions of dollars to companies around the country, and it's been making a huge impact. So that's the route that we're on right now until the next train station.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we've been obviously working together doing ERC, and it's been incredible to see. I mean, our first month we did, I don't know, millions and millions of dollars out to businesses. It's pretty incredible. Like a lot of people don't even believe that it's real, right? Like these businesses are actually getting these sizable refunds. Why don't you explain a little bit about how that works and how the government, like why the government is giving this money back to businesses?
Yeah, it's funny. I hear that all the time. People are always like, "Oh, is it real? Is it a scam? It's a scam. It's a scam." And then I got clients that are getting like $10 million in checks in the mail, and they're like,
Right.
"Thank you, Joe. Like, this is great. How do I pay you?"
Right.
So because of COVID, everyone remembers COVID.
No.
The government released these programs, programs to help businesses. And one of them specifically states that if your business had payroll during COVID, you're eligible for, some money back as a refund if your business qualifies. So we do everything by the book, by the law, by the code. We file this refund for these businesses, and they're getting millions of dollars back, as as checks that they don't have to pay back. And they can do whatever they want with the money.
Yeah. Now, does a business have to have like lost revenue or had like a bad year in 2020 and 2021?
Not necessarily. I mean, that's one way that they could qualify. But I mean, like thousands of our clients, most of these businesses, they're qualifying because COVID changed them.
Right.
Like the business changed. Like maybe they went from doing dine in to takeout only, or maybe they had to switch from this vendor to another vendor, or maybe they just couldn't even get their materials because of shipping.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people qualify just because of a slowdown in logistics, right? Like it took forever to get their food or their supplies or their tools or whatever it was. I think that. Do you think that almost every single business has a way to qualify as long as they've got W-2 employees in those years?
Not necessarily. Like we want to do everything right. I mean, there's
Right.
definitely businesses out there, like certain e-commerce companies that had little to zero effect because all of their supply was overseas and nothing was
Right.
actually done in America. But for all of the businesses that have real footprints, real retail locations, physical locations here in America and had employees, I mean, it's definitely worth a conversation to find out.
Right. Now I gotta ask. So, how did you get introduced to like you are known as the guy for ERC, right? The ERC King. How did you go from struggling to learning about ERC and really blowing up in this industry and becoming a multi-millionaire this quick?
I was in the right place at the right time, and I met the right person. So obviously I give all of my success and all of my, everything that I've created and made for myself to my CEO, Josh Fox. He's the one who found me, right? Like before before ERC, before Bottom Line, before everything, when I met Josh, I was homeless, and
Wow.
he took me under his wing. So like I was homeless for a couple of months in my life, living in a car, just figuring out what to do, going through all
Right.
that. And Josh, he found me. He took me under his wing. He showed me the business, showed me how to do sales in another way. And when the program came out, I was just equipped with all of this knowledge, all of these resources that I've been given, and I just took everything that I had and I went all in, burn the ships type
Yeah.
mentality where like I'm not going back to anything that's behind me.
Yeah.
I'm in this. This is my life. And I took such a big gamble on myself. Like I put every last dollar on me and I bet it on myself. And I found the definition of betting on yourself. And the
Okay.
definition of betting on yourself is when you have zero money,
Mhm.
like let's say $600 to live, and
Right.
you go to a dinner that costs you $400, and you're going to that dinner because there's a big business opportunity. Maybe you're with a client and you're going to pay that bill knowing that you're not going to be able to pay the rent next month. That's betting
Right.
on yourself.
Yeah. Like if that dinner goes south, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Now,
I did
would you say?
that a
Sorry.
lot.
Go ahead.
I was just saying I did that a lot. Like I bet on myself to the point where my bank account would go negative, but I had so much faith in this ERC program that I knew, it was going to go somewhere.
Right. Right. Now, do you think the faith was more in yourself, or was it heavily in ERC?
It was heavily in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, would you say the most important investment you can make is in yourself versus anything else?
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, you're the vehicle, you're the prize, you're everything in your life, right? Like without you, you don't make anything happen. Like you need to be
Right.
there, right? So I've always believed in myself throughout everything. All the turmoil that went on in life, all the struggle. Like I always believed in myself because I don't know, I just knew like I'm my biggest fan.
Right.
I'm gonna win.
You were destined for more.
Of course, I knew
Yeah.
that, and I was just so overly intoxicatedly positive about that, if that's even a
Yeah.
word. Right?
Yeah.
I just had this serial optimism, I would call it, for
Yeah.
for myself and for life, and whatever came my way, like I always just tried to flip it so that it was working out for me.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. It's like that saying, be obsessed or be average. You know what I mean? Like I could totally relate to that, man. When I started Versa Business Systems, I was same thing, dude. I was living in my little brother's basement, who was newly married, about to have a kid. Like I had a $600 car to my name. I had nothing, and I was tired of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going all in on myself. I'm gonna make it happen. And I mean, within a few short months, had a nice house, had a better car, had but it was the business, man. It was like I had to be obsessed. I had to go all in on myself
Yeah,
and truly like people say they believe in themselves, but like there's a big difference between truly believing in yourself and going all in and investing in yourself than just like having some faith, right?
you have to be able to see that you have room to improve. Like
Yeah.
I knew that there was ways that I can improve. Like I knew I could get better at speaking.
Being self-aware is everything.
Yeah. And when I would spot out any of these like insecurities or flaws of myself, you invest in those areas and you start to develop those areas of your life like a video game. You're like, oh, I want to build my strength, I want to build my health, I want to
Yep.
build my psychology, right? And then once that's believing in yourself and understanding like, hey, you have potential, you have talents, invest and get it to become better. And then when the opportunity presents itself, you're ready. Like you're at your best and like you can just go at it to the degree that you want to go at it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Like being self-aware, knowing what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, working on those weaknesses. Like I can't remember who said it, but one of those old sales guys is like, if you think you are the best, you will never become the best, right? Like there's always room for improvement in every single part of your life, whether it's sales, business, personal aspects, your anger, whatever, like there's always ways to improve. And investing and being able to, you can invest into any kind of information right now, right? Like whether it's a book, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a mastermind or a course or whatever. Like you can learn how to do anything you want to nowadays with technology. It's incredible. It's all at our fingertips. I just think enough people don't take advantage of those resources out there to really better themselves every single day.
I like to learn in my sleep.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Just play books and podcasts when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's the what's I forget the name of it, but it's like a form of uh what's it called?
Like
Uh
unconscious learning and stuff.
yeah, unconscious learning. Yep, exactly. Like people play like books on tape for their babies when they're sleeping. And they say it actually helps them develop so much faster. It's the same thing as adults. Like if we're playing that stuff in our sleep instead of having Sopranos on in the background, like
Yeah.
waking up angry, you know what I mean? So I gotta ask, man, like how long did it take you to go from like broke to being homeless to like really successful, having your own house, car, and everything in place? How long did that process take when you're like, enough's enough, I'm going all in on myself? How long did it take for you to really start seeing a big difference there?
So it was weird because it was a big pivotal moment for me where like when ERC, like I've been with Bottom Line for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And before ERC, like ERC's only been out. I mean, ERC has been around. It started in the first ERC was in Hurricane Katrina
Yeah.
back in '05. That was when the program was first ever like created, but then
Right.
it stopped because it was always limited. But this recent round of ERC, it came out about 2 years ago. But before that, I was working for the company, but I wasn't really making any money because, I mean, for me, I was facing whatever struggles in sales that I was facing. I just couldn't, I don't know. So it was a big pivotal moment where I was borderline like out of money, like I was mentioning. I was betting on myself where
Right.
I was spending all this money to like live and meet people and network and try to do business, but I had nothing coming in. But when ERC came out and I learned everything about it and I stayed around the right people who were also invested into this program and they were understanding the long term of it, more specifically Josh, our attorneys and everybody,
Right.
I saw that this was the play.
This was the vehicle that was going to change everything.
This was the one, and it was an
Yeah.
early sighting. But I don't know how to explain this other than just pure intuition, pure gut feeling. But
Yeah.
in that moment, my gut, God, universe, everything just said to me, "This is what you're gonna do, and
Right.
you're gonna stop everything, and you're gonna do this, and you're going to like trust wholeheartedly all of the people around you. And if you fall, that's okay. You can
Right.
fall because they're gonna catch you." Now
Right.
I never fell, but I let I tricked myself to believing that if I were to fall, I'm gonna get caught and it's gonna be okay.
Right.
I didn't
Yeah.
know if that was
100%.
I didn't know if that was true or not, but I
Pray for the best, right?
yeah. And I
But at that point, do you have like that I've got nothing to lose mentality? Like it can't get much worse, right? At least that's how it was for me. I'm like, you know what? Like, so what if I end up losing my last $2,000 to make this work? Or like when I started the business, I could have either taken a $30,000 check and given the business to somebody else, or I could have ran with it myself. And at the time, $30,000 was a lot of money to me. I had $600 to my name,
yeah.
and I decided to turn down the 30 grand and go all in on this business. And it was just I knew it was going to work out. And if it didn't, I had nothing to lose, right? Like I was going to do whatever to make it work.
Yeah. And also like for me too, like when you're homeless a couple of times at a young age,
Yeah.
Like what, and my brain's like, okay, what am I going to do? Sleep in my car? Cool.
Right.
Been there, I've done that. No problem. I'll just
Right.
get a gym membership and shout and do it all over again. Not that I wanted to be there, but
Right.
my brain was like, hey, like I know
I
what
can make it work.
yeah, I know what happens when I go to that realm. So
Yeah, exactly. Now I got to ask you, like, so we're talking about people. You were surrounding yourself by around the right people that had big ideas and big businesses, and really trying to learn from these people. So, did you like cut out all of your old friends and family and people you were associated with before, or
yeah,
like how did that how does that play into the success part?
it's weird. It's definitely just a disconnect of communication. You become aware of like, what friends do I have that I just share a bad habit with, right? Like
Right.
growing up, like we all have like a friend where you only meet up just to roll one and drive around and do nothing. We all
Right.
have a friend that you just only go out to drink with because they're fun to party with, right?
Right.
And like I recognize that, and I mean, obviously, like when you go through that type of filter in your brain, you're like, wow, I have nobody. And then you're left with yourself. And then
Yeah.
you're just left with all these like internet people on the internet making money. And
Right. Like that's how we met.
yeah, like we're like, hey, you're over on the internet making money. Yeah, me too. Come on, let's make money together. Next
Yeah.
thing you know, you and I make a couple $100,000 together. You're in Miami, and it's like, hey, we're boys, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I had a lot of family, a lot of friends that were just negative mindset. They did not,
Yeah.
just always like anything that came out of their mouth was just a complaint or negative.
Yeah.
And I realized that, and I didn't want to be around that. You got to be with
Yeah.
people like yourself. Like, I love your energy, man. Like, you're always a good time. Like you want to be with people that are always like happy to be alive in a sense.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I completely agree. I used to be the guy that was friends with everybody, right? I was the guy that could go through Ocean City, shake hands with 1,000 people, and but it wasn't like none of them added value to my life. And then, like when I started this business, I told myself, I'm like, look, I'm not going to surround myself by anyone that doesn't add value, right? Like if all they have to do is talk about other people or things they wish they were doing and they weren't action takers and they weren't interested in talking about business or making money or growing or learning, like I didn't need them in my life. And it's funny, I had a birthday party like a few weeks ago, and my friends that showed, it was like 3 friends that showed up, but these friends drove 3 hours away to come to this birthday party. And the rest of it, like, I had some family here and some local friends, but it was like a handful of people, right? And I realized once again that these are people that add value into my life. They make me feel good. They can have conversations about life and success and building and learning. They're doing something with their life. They're not those people that, like you said, just are a good time, right? Like, yeah, I completely relate to that. Now, you're obviously very passionate about what you do. How important do you think passion is when choosing the right vehicle or business to get into or be involved with?
It's the fire that you don't see. It's the fire inside you that you cannot see. And it's everything. It's the pilot light. It's
Right.
literally the pilot light of your soul that's going to allow your human body to exert this energy, right? There's a lot of energy that like you have and that you want to be able to give to things, and you're so capable of giving things like 5,000%. But if the actual passion behind whatever you're doing is not there, you won't put that output.
Right. Right. Now do you agree in so my thing is like if you're passionate about the money, that it won't work out. Like you got to be passionate about helping people
Yeah.
and solving problems, and like it can't be about the money. Do you agree?
I agree, and it's funny because like in this business, right? Like when we're helping these businesses get their money back, like we're making great commissions, right? Like as an
Right.
individual, like for myself, I'll make right now about 1 to 2 mil per month just helping businesses. Now I'm making a bigger impact to make those numbers, right? Like I'm delivering
Right.
hundreds of millions every month. So I'm making these types of numbers. But like in the beginning, everything was what we would calculate commissions. We'd be like, oh, we have X dollars coming, X. But when? We didn't know when, because it was the
Right.
beginning. Like the IRS wasn't issuing the checks at that time. So for me at that point, like that was it was very clear that it wasn't the money, because the money didn't exist. It never hit the accounts yet. We never got paid.
Right.
In fact, what made it more fun was just the camaraderie, the relationships, the feelings. Like there were so many people that we were putting onto this opportunity too. You know,
Right.
we're helping all of our friends. We're bringing everybody onto this quote unquote imaginary opportunity that's going to make a
Right.
lot of money,
Right.
but it actually did, you know? So the feeling of helping people, the feeling of building a community and like everybody working together, I think that's what really also like motivates more, you know, to give
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, definitely, man. So you're saying that your passion kind of comes from just helping people not just get their money, but helping other people make money from the ERC, and really, I mean, this is life-changing money, right? Like
Yeah.
I think we made over $1 million in the first 4 weeks on
Ridiculous.
ERC, and it was just like
Yeah.
it was incredible, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the people that we're talking to, we're talking to CEOs of hospitals that are through the roof happy and so blessed, like so blessed to have
Yeah.
spoken to us and met us. And it's like it really humbles you, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty incredible, man. Um, so ERC is obviously not going to be around forever, right? So what is the next steps like look for you? Like how does that process go of like moving to another vehicle, or is it all about just trying to find a problem you can solve?
Yeah, it's a good conversation. It's always been on our mind. I mean, we've had a business for 15 years. Like bottom line,
Right.
Josh started this business 15 years ago, and we've been helping Fortune 1000 companies save and recover money with all these different types of programs. ERC just happens to be the newest one. So we don't, you know, a lot of people are asking us the same question, but we're just operating business as normal.
Right.
I mean, like,
We'll worry about that when that happens.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like when that happens, then we'll start to worry about that. But as of right now, like we're just remaining as focused as possible and trying not to look away from,
Yeah.
because I mean, at this point, like there's so much to focus on when you're
Yeah.
signing 1,000, 1,500 clients a week at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Now, so would you say tunnel vision is extremely important when it comes to entrepreneurship? Because I know a lot of people, they're like, and I used to be this way too. So about 7 years ago, people would ask me what I do. I'm like, I sell food trucks, I sell cars, I sell houses, I sell fidget spinners, I sell, like doing all these different businesses, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, people laughed about the fidget spinners, but I made 80 grand in 2 months
Wow.
flipping fidget spinners when they first came out, because they were selling for 20, $30 in Walmart.
Wow.
I was getting them for a penny and selling them wholesale for $10 a piece.
Wow.
Like it was insanity. But like, yeah, I was doing everything. And I think nothing really changed until I was tunnel vision on one thing, one goal. Do you agree? Do you think tunnel vision and really going all in on one thing is important?
Yeah, for sure. You have to. I mean, I like to say that like you shouldn't add on another branch or product or service until you've mastered that one service that you started with or the one product
Yep.
that you started with, and then you can add on something else. But like until you
Yep.
master it where it's self sufficient, every team is in place to keep that aspect moving, then you
Yep.
can branch out. Like
Yeah.
staying focused is key to everything.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Like we started the company focusing on lending, and I mean, we became the best company in the country to do it, right? The highest closing ratios, highest repeat business ratios, best reputation, you name it. And until we really mastered that, we weren't even thinking about other products.
Right.
I mean, we kind of were, we're like, eventually we want to do this, this, and this to be a total business consulting
Well,
firm.
relatable at
And
least.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. They're within the same, it's not a food truck and a fidget spinner. It's not, it's not going to different types of
Yeah.
customers or different types of clientele.
Because that's the
And you
problem. People will be in one business and then they're like, oh, now I'm in crypto and like
right,
now I'm selling gymnastics. And you're like, how do you do all of these things? Like
right.
how are you so good at all of these things?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can be great at any one of those things because they go to different customers. If you have multiple products that you can sell to the same customer, that makes total sense, right? You're marketing to that customer to get that customer, and then you can help that customer with multiple different products. That makes sense. But if you have a nail salon and you have a restaurant, right? Like they're not like the people that get their nails done every day aren't going to be the same people that want to go to your restaurant, or a pizza place and a gym. Like the people that are going to the gym are not coming to eat pizza all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I completely agree, man. Just it's got to make sense, and that tunnel vision is super important. So with you, right now you're 100% focused on ERC. What would you say is the biggest opportunity for people out there that are looking to make some extra money right now? Maybe it's on top of their job, or they're already doing B2B sales or something like that. What is that? What does that look like as far as like referrals for ERC? Like, is it easy to get into? Like, how does that work?
It's super easy actually because it all depends on who you know. Like
Right.
one of my buddies, he doesn't do a lot of business with me. He actually did one deal, only one ERC deal with me. And ironically, it was the biggest deal in the entire company. Well,
No way.
now it's like the third or fourth biggest, but I mean at the time it was the biggest deal, and that one deal is paying him $1.2 million in commission
Wow.
on one deal.
1.2 million, one deal, one shot. How
Yeah.
was that, like somebody he knew?
Yep, just one of his
Yeah.
good friends that owns a big company, and
Right.
he just said, "Hey, for name purposes, he was just like, "Hey, Jim, meet Joe."
Right.
I spoke with Jim for 5, 7, 8 minutes, and
Right.
you know,
And that was that.
yeah,
Your buddy made 1.2 million bucks.
$1 million. Like,
That's crazy, man.
came,
Yeah, so it's that easy. We've started getting a lot more affiliates now. The people that we have brought onto our podcast, they're sending us business now. So yeah, it's been incredible, and it really is that easy. It's just a simple introduction, and when they get funded, we get paid, they get paid, and everybody wins. It's
and
like,
everybody's happy. It's like it's
yeah.
money, it's like money from Santa Claus.
Right, right, exactly. Now, why do you think that people ask all the time, like, well, why is the government willing to do that? My personal opinion is that it's going to go back into the economy anyway. Right now, the economy's in trouble. This extra money out there to business owners is going to help. That's going to go to other businesses. It's going to be spent at other businesses. It's going to help boost the economy. Do you feel the same way, or what is your take on that?
I agree. I mean, small businesses are the backbone of America, right?
100%.
We love small businesses. You do, everybody does. Like you love going to your local cafe or your local coffee shop and just seeing the people. It's a nice feeling. So, I mean, being able to deliver over $5 billion as a firm to all these businesses in America, like that's real money that a lot of them can use to make improvements to their business, hire more people, do more marketing for their business, improve in any way that they can. Look, you have great people in this world, you have bad people in this world, of course, like you have a mixture of all of that. But
Right.
the good people and the great people that are getting this money, they're putting it back into their businesses and they're using it for the better of their society, of their community. And
Right.
that's what we really look forward to, just helping these businesses reinvest in themselves.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So do they have to put that money back into their business, or can they really just, do whatever they want with it?
No, there's no limitations. They can use the money however they want. But I mean, I get calls all the time at this point. Like people thank me. a lot of them use the money for the business. They're all
Yeah.
making improvements. They're buying different trucks.
Exactly. I mean, it's a whole bunch of money that you can use to invest to make even more money. Like it's a no brainer,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
even if you went out and spent it all on a bunch of condos or houses or whatever to rent them out, like whatever, like just it makes more sense to use that money to make more money.
Of course.
Why wouldn't you? But
Yeah,
if you want to go buy yourself a nice watch or a nice purse, sure, do that. But make money with the rest of
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Put the rest in
absolutely,
a
man.
treasury bond or something.
Right, right. So I guess my one of my last questions is what is the largest anybody has gotten from ERC? Not commission, but like the business itself. Like what's the highest? What's the most that they can get? Is there a cap?
There's no cap. And
Wow.
so far to date, I believe it's Disney. Disney got 150 million back from ERC.
Jeez. $150 million. How many employees was that?
I don't even know.
Man, that's crazy. Was it? It's like the cap is 26,000. The most you can get is 26,000 per W-2 employee
Yeah,
in
but
2020,
I mean,
2021,
not,
right?
not not to get too technical here, but the companies that have more than 500 employees, the larger employers, they the math is a little bit different. So
Right,
we're looking at different data, and
right.
because we're looking at a different data set, the average they get back is about 2 grand per person.
I got you. I mean, when you have 30,000 employees, it's like, 150 million bucks.
Yeah,
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm excited to see what they do with it, man. I love
yeah,
Disneyland.
right. Maybe another theme park,
Right,
an
right,
adult one.
exactly. Right. Absolutely, man. So for all the listeners and viewers out there, what is something that we can offer them today to help them, with their life, with their success, with their business?
Look, if you're out there right now and you want to make some money with us, and obviously, like we're not charging you anything to do this, it's completely free to work with us. And you want to be under our guidance, let's for the next 10 people that do sign up, we'll give away a vacation to them. We'll send you on a nice little trip. And then for the other 10 people or 20 or 50 or 100 people that don't sign up right away, I mean, hey, you're going to make a ton of money with us and you'll have plenty of money to buy your own vacation and
Right.
whatever you want. But
Absolutely.
look, it's free to join and help some people. You can, maybe drop a link for them to sign up, and
Yeah, yeah, there's a link right below.
we'll teach you the business. We'll show you the ropes. We'll give you the support. We'll show you what we did to make money, and you can do the same and help your friends, help your family, help yourself, and
Right.
we all make money together.
Exactly. I mean, even if you only know a couple business owners with 10, 20 employees, like it's extra money that you're just
Yeah,
making a referral. You don't have
yeah,
to, know about taxes or know about
yeah.
this, that, and the other. Like just refer them over. We'll handle everything. We'll explain to them how it works, around how much they're going to get, what documents we need to get them approved. All of that stuff we handle within the guidelines, and you sit back and collect the money. It's like,
Correct.
it's probably the easiest business I've ever been involved in, to be honest. I mean, would you say the same? Like, what have you been involved in a lot of different businesses?
Yeah, I've been in every business, man, like everything, pretty much
Right.
everything. Like I feel like I had too many jobs in my life, and it's
Yeah.
embarrassing, but it is what it is. But
Yeah, but I mean, dude, that's the experience that gets you. I mean, you learn. I feel like every little thing that I did taught me something that has helped me in what I do now.
yeah, even like
So
being a bartender and like learning about like microsystem and how
yeah.
like a POS works and like just understanding it.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. I mean, or even just like the conversation, like talking to people, psychology. I mean, most bartenders are psychologists at the end of the day, right? Everybody's telling them their problems.
Yeah.
They got to figure out how to relate to those people. Dude, I've hired some amazing bartenders as sales reps, and they crush it
Yep.
because they're so used to talking to people.
Yeah, we hire some people that were waiters in the hotel space, like luxury hotel
Yeah.
concierge. They've been great. They kill it because they're just such personable people.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of business owners are always trying to find people that have experience in their business. But what I find is the people that have experience in your business tend to have some bad habits from their old employers or bad expectations or whatever it may be. I like to hire people that have a clean slate, right? Like if they have some sort of, customer service or sales experience, maybe not direct B2B sales or something like that, but like bartending, complete sales,
Straight
right?
up.
Like,
Yeah.
it's yeah, it all goes hand in hand. Like people don't realize, like a lot of people get scared about sales. Like I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson, but guess what? Every human interaction is a sale.
Always.
Every human interaction. Like you reached out to me on Instagram, and I don't even think we started talking about. I think you asked me about my car, and I was like, "Dude, I saw your car. Like, what is that?" And we just started having a conversation, and we're like, "Man, I like this guy." And then we started talking about business. It's just that is sales, building rapport, closing the deal, right?
I agree. 100%.
Yeah,
You're
it's
selling
crazy, man.
stuff.
Now, last question I have for you, and I'm sure people are wondering the same thing. A lot of people say that like being flashy and buying the nice cars and the nice houses and all that stuff early on in business isn't the way to go. But what do you feel about it? Like I love buying, having the nice things. Like obviously I don't go overboard. I think it's all within moderation. But what's your thought on that? Like are you're doing that for yourself, or is it like to blow up the brand, or like what's your thought on that stuff?
It's a mixture of both. Like I definitely did a lot for myself because I've always wanted to have nice things.
Right.
But everything is in proportion to how much money you make, right? Like I made $10 million. So if I drop 20 grand on a watch, like for me, it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
for a lot of people, like that's a lot of money. Like don't go and buy a $20,000 watch. Maybe get an 8 or a 9 or a 10. Like get something nice.
Right.
I tell all of my, I mean, there's a common like joke that goes around in where we are, where they say everybody at Bottom Line has a Rolex, because all of my sales team, like they all have Rolexes. Number one,
Right.
they're all making good money, and I
Yeah, I
tell
mean,
them
they're
like,
making $1 million plus a month. I mean, that makes
I mean,
sense. Yeah.
not all these guys are making a million plus, but some of them are making like 50K, 100K, 400K a
Right.
month. I'm like, hey, go buy a nice $10,000 Rolex or a nice watch, just something clean, because it's going to make you money in the long run. And it
Right.
does. I can't.
Yeah, it's a conversation starter, right? Like how many times have you, been driving the Lambo and people have stopped and
Every
talked to you,
day,
"Hey, what do you do? What do
every
you do?"
day.
Every day,
Every
right?
day when I'm driving in a Lambo and I have my windows down, there's always a young entrepreneur that pulls up next to me, and
Yeah.
he's in whatever like Honda or whatever he's got. And he's like,
Right.
yo, what do you do? And I'm like,
What do you
get me
do?
on Instagram. Let's make money. They
Exactly.
hit me up. And those are the ones that hustle, and they're grinding. They're out
Yeah, exactly. They want to get to that level, and the opportunity is there to be able to do that. So I agree. I'm the same way as you. Like my mom always gets on me about it. She saw my uh what my car was worth one day, and I haven't heard I just hear about it nonstop ever since. But I explained to her, I'm like, look, like it's nice to have nice things, yeah, but like it's a conversation starter. Like it's actually brought me a lot more business
there.
than what it's cost me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like getting
so
like having all those cars and everything, like it just attracts people,
yeah,
and then people want to know. And if you have value, if you have a business that's
yeah,
valuable, you can turn that into money. And that's what I did. Like I'm I would like to consider myself financially literate when it comes to,
right,
understanding what I'm doing. And when I started making money, like, and I'm sure you know this too, but like broke people come out of the woodworks and they want to give you all of the financial advice in the world. They're like,
oh my
hey, make sure
goodness,
you invest your money in the stock market. I'm like, how many stocks do you have?
right. The last guy I know that invested everything in the stock market lost it all.
Yeah. And like some people come and they're like, oh, why don't you start buying houses? I'm like,
Yeah,
how many?
every realtor,
Yeah.
hey, we'll get you a house. Hey, we'll get
Yeah.
you a house. Oh
I'm
my
like, how many
goodness,
houses do you have?
right.
They're like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I try to only take advice, like especially financial advice from like wealthy,
Somebody who's
wealthy,
doing better than you.
of course.
Yeah,
You
same.
know,
Yeah,
And
100%.
but like going back to the question, like I think it's important. Like, you know, these things make me happy. Like I like driving in a really nice car because I can feel it. I see it. I get like the smile it puts
The
on people.
smile on your face, man. Like yeah. Trust me, I get it, man. The smile when you're driving down the road, you're like, man,
It
this
feels
just
good.
feels good.
Yeah. Or like,
Yeah,
you know, if people are, I'm at a bar and someone's like, "Hey, I like your watch." Like, okay, cool. Like that's a good compliment, and I get to open up conversation.
exactly.
You know.
Exactly, man. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Definitely agree on that one. So, man, it, it's always great to talk to you. Every single time we talk, I get more value. You motivate the hell out of me. I loved seeing what you're doing. I love seeing all your posts and your Instagram. Your Instagram handle is on here. So, guys, give Joe a follow. Keep in touch with us. Let us know, and we'll get you set up as an affiliate. You want to start making money together, we'll help you any way that we possibly can. Anything last you want to add, Joe?
We all eat together, and just I guess the last thing, if for those that are still watching, like the number one thing, the number one takeaway, at least for me, is just always believe in yourself. You know, you have to be your number one supporter, and just it's it's all we're all not going to make it out of here anyways, so just have fun,
Yeah,
relax, and what's the difference, you know?
absolutely. I am my number one fan.
That's right. I'm your number one, I'm your number two fan.
Oh man, I appreciate that, bro. Same here.
When you coming back out to Miami, we got to get you down.
Yeah, actually, I'm probably going to come down there in a couple of weeks. We're going to DR. Actually, in 3 weeks, we're going to DR, and I think we're going to stop in Miami for a night or two. So I'll definitely let you know.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Great talking to you, Joe. A lot of great value out of today, and we'll chat soon, man.
Take it easy, man. Good
See
seeing
you,
you.
brother.
Later.